What's going on, YouTube? You know what it is. Goddamn AJ in the house for another live, a part 2. I know what I usually do when I come on. I check my audio. So you gotta give me a second. Hopefully everybody having a good Monday. Let's see. Testing. Okay, I can hear myself. All right. Couple of things. I supposedly, that's the key word, supposedly have somebody, a visitor, coming over at 6. It's not guaranteed. So just letting you guys know, they were trying to come earlier. I was behind, so that's why I kind of came on late, had to straighten up. So they're supposed to be here at 6, but it's no guarantee. They say they're going to try. So I don't know if they're going to chime in. We already had talked about this before. You know, they was kind of upset with the situation with Lori. Anyway, but just giving y'all a heads up. So if I had to get off, I don't know if I have a panel. I don't know who's going to be here. If y'all on here, and most likely if I'm still live, I had to get off for a second and let them in. Y'all know why. Another thing that I'm seeing that's kind of bothering me is this dude, you know, who got the 7 baby mothers. Like, why is everybody doing content about this shit? It's like, is he trending? Like, what's the fucking big deal? Like, this ain't nothing new. It's like every time I look up, I get notifications, and this is all I'm seeing now. Everybody doing fucking content about this shit. So I don't know what we recycling shit. It's like, you know, I get it at first when certain YouTubers who got bigger channels talking about it, but you know, come on, man, this shit like almost a week or two old. Like, that's old news, and that's nothing new. It's plenty of dudes out here like him. You know, that shit bothered me. It's like, the fuck, man. Damn, talk about something else. Damn. Wow, kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, and I want to talk about this too. I notice I keep repeating myself with this shit. I'm not doing political shit. This is not a political channel. It's not a change of content or none of that. I think you guys need to go look at the title of my videos. I'm just putting everything in perspective. That's all. You know, I'm just putting up the mirror to people. Like, okay, look, you voted for this person. This is the results that you got. See, I'm just tired of that victim shit. You know, people are always racing. It's the white people. No. It's you fucking Negroes keep making dumbass decisions. You know, y'all not holding yourself accountable. So we're not finna keep doing this shit. My shit is of what I'm putting out there. You got a choice. We're not finna keep doing this shit. You know, to be able to change this shit, you got to know what's the problem. And okay, once you realize the problem, to be able to come up with a solution is what? You got to choose. You're going to keep doing the same shit, expecting different results. That's why I be saying a lot of y'all mentally ill. You're insane. So no, this is not old political shit. Y'all need to stop saying that. I'm just going a different way about it. We're going to go to these other places, these other cities that's fucked up, and we're going to talk about it. We go look at who's in office, who's your representative, all of that shit. I'm gonna start looking. We go look at the stats. I'm just tired of fucking Negroes doing their victim role shit. I'm tired of it. It's segregated here and ain't no jobs. It's just fucking excuses after excuses, man. I don't want to hear that shit no more. I don't want to hear it no more. So yeah, we're gonna visit these spots and like a story I just heard today on Pink Book Lesson, in Baton Rouge with over 200 people fighting at a charter school. It was a charter, or I think it was a charter school. Parents and students and the fucking police. Bruh, come on, man. Come on. I don't. and I heard they was trying to hold the police accountable. See, no more of this dumbass shit. No more. Not over here. So anyway, I might talk about that later. I might not. Who knows? See, that's the content, I'm trying to make. Not to hold you motherfuckers accountable. But let's get back to the video. Chicago mayor, the runoff. I think I stopped off when he was talking about tours. If you missed it yesterday, you come in new. I was talking about tours with the family black. Well, Paul Vallas was talking about tours, middle class family leaving Chicago, which is true. That's why I brought up K-Town, because you have a lot of people leaving out of here because of the violence. A lot of a lot of robberies, carjacking, a lot of shit going on here in Chicago. So, and you notice he said family. Usually is black families. Thank you, Paul, for putting that. Finally saying black, which consists of a husband and a wife. And this is true. I can't deny that. I see it. I see people talking about it online. That's why a lot of people going to Texas and shit. They getting up out of here. So I don't blame them. I mean, it's fucked up, but we gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't really, want people to leave. I say we need intact families. That's how we're going to be able to have a community. But at the same time, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. So all these other motherfuckers that want to play victim, no, we're not for to keep doing that. And like I said, this is important. This is very important. You dumb motherfuckers voted Lori in, and I knew that shit was fucked up. I knew it was fucked up when you had both of them rainbow chicks at the top. I knew it. I said it. I'm telling you, I felt out with a lot of my female family because of this shit. Seriously. I mean, we somewhat talk, but they know my stance. I'm not with this feminist, all this bullshit is y'all trying to push. You can miss me with that shit. And look what happened. Now motherfuckers quiet. Nobody ain't saying shit. They haven't said anything. Now you got these two guys running. I ain't heard nobody say shit. Nothing. Some people talk about with Brandon because of where he's from. Mostly, nobody ain't saying anything. Oh, now it's two guys, a white and black guy. Nobody ain't putting out them paragraphs like they was with Lori and them simp ass niggas. Oh my God, Lori's just like, that auntie in the family. You Negroes are fucking. Wow. All right. Probably need me another bottle of water. Oh my God. All right. Let me go play this shit. Let me go get another bottle of water. This is crazy. So, all right. This is the other half of the video of the debate. If you want to see the first, go to the last video. I'm not replaying shit. I'm not answering questions about the other shit. Go to the video. Go look at it. So let's get to it. I'm gonna stop camming, and I'm not gonna mute up. I'm gonna stop camming. Go give me another bottle of water. Alrighty. Let's see. Alrighty. Big screen.
Exodus in population has been Black middle-income families with school-age children. So at the end of the day, they know the city's in crisis, and they need someone who can manage the city and can pull together a leadership team that can run every department, every agency, whether it's public safety, whether it's schools, for that matter, whether it's the budget, so that the city is addressing all the critical needs of its citizens. And I think that, and let me point out that many of these funders have backed Democratic mayors in the past, not only Mayor Daley, Rahm Emanuel, but a number of them have also supported Lori Lightfoot.
But Ken Griffin has been a deep-pocketed Republican funder.
Yeah, well, you know, I've gotten contributions from individuals who are a part of Citadel. I haven't been brought up to date on what the latest contributions are.
Let's talk about Chicago Public Schools. CPS has lost 82,000 students in the last decade. There are already empty school buildings. How will you address declining enrollment, and what will you do with those underutilized schools, Mr. Johnson?
82,000. This is, bro, I told you guys, this is at critical mass. Some of these numbers I didn't even know. And that was another thing that was bothering me when I mean, it's been like over, what? When now the dumbass mayor closed all the schools? It's been like, what, eight years? Them buildings are still empty. Empty, they still there. Empty. I mean, not being used at all. And I'm just like, you guys, and that's another thing with Lori. I was like, yo, like, what the fuck is you saying all this shit you was going to do, and you did not do, you couldn't even do that. Like, tear down the buildings, make use of them. That's crazy. 9 years, and them buildings are still there, vacant. They're still there.
Yeah, look, as a public school teacher and as a parent who I send my children to the Chicago Public Schools, I have tremendous incentive to make sure that our public schools live up to their promise. And one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to implement the funding formula that I organized to make sure that it was actually part of state law. Right now, the Chicago Public Schools is missing out on $1 billion because we are using an antiquated structure. But I'm also going to make sure that we are educating children and teaching Black history. Paul Vallas, on the other hand, doesn't believe that children of the city of Chicago should learn Black history. So if we eliminate the type of history that Paul Vallas is trying to promote, they wouldn't know that the first Black mayor of the city of Chicago was Harold Washington or Eugene Sawyer, right? It's important that we have a well-rounded curriculum, but you have to have someone who believes in public education, and I do.
All right, and
He didn't answer the question. He didn't answer he did not answer the question. Bruh, come on, man. See? Let's see what Paul say.
But will include, what about those underutilized schools?
Yeah, well, you know, first of all, let me point out that during our tenure at the Chicago Public Schools, enrollment grew by 40,000. And we had to build 30 new schools and 48 additions. We didn't have to close a single school. Let me also point out that we left the schools with almost $1 billion in cash balances, a fully funded pension system, and 12 bond rating upgrades.
The question is about the buildings that are empty.
Do. We have tens of thousands of students who have left the system, exited the system, particularly when they were closed for 15 consecutive months with catastrophic consequences, and they need to be reclaimed. There's no reason why those schools cannot be reopened as alternative schools, as adult ed and occupational training centers. There's federal money available. There's state money available. There's still.
I agree. That's a good point. Got point right there. I agree. Yes, they should be towards training. I mean, if you're not going to put trades directly back in the schools, why not have separate buildings? So you're giving the kids a choice. They could go after school, because listen, the trades are really trying to get back inside the schools. They talk about it. They really are. And I don't understand, these big ass buildings that's not being used. Either or. It could be both. Put them back in the high schools, or and then you could have separate type of, like IT, all type of other things that it could be implemented into them vacant buildings. It could be after school programs. So that's a point there. I gotta move this over here so I could start, because I don't really see what's going on in the chat. So all right. Yeah, he gets that's to me is really, 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 that's really important for real. Fuck.
COVID money available that Biden has suggested be used for those very same programs. So there's no reason why those schools can't be reopened to the community with community input, and they can serve the tens of thousands of young adults who have left the system and will not return because they're overage and cannot find jobs.
Well, it is estimated that just 15 to 20% of CPS students are proficient in reading and math. What role do you play, if you are the mayor, in implementing and improving those outcomes, Mr. Vallas?
It's worse than that.
Wow.
Black children in Chicago are at 6% proficiency in math and 11% proficiency in reading. The bottom line is there's been a significant degrading of instruction. Our test scores were light years ahead of those when I ran the Chicago.
Lori. I told y'all, man, like she had an agenda. 11 and 6%. And like I said, this is not towards no political party. Think about that shit, man. And this is why, like I spoke towards with the other young guy, who probably had that mindset, like when I was like, "Hey man, go get up with this guy. He's gonna try to get you to where you need to be towards joining the union." And to be honest with you, I think a lot of black boys, or that's in that's 18 to like in their early 20s, think like this because they can't read or write. The math. Let's just be real. Like, I really felt that's why he just like fuck that shit, and he was he was still on the block. This is how they thinking, and he got his diploma. He graduated. But that don't mean shit. This is crazy, man. And y'all see what people been saying here online for the longest of what households these boys come from. Ain't nowhere in fucking hell I would sit there and just be okay with towards my sons can read or write or understand simple simple math. It's I couldn't. That shit is crazy to me. It is, Aries, and it's just like it's generation curses. Cause you know why? Because the parent in the household don't know how to do it either. They don't know how to read or write either. It's the same. But damn, that still don't give them a fucking excuse. Because damn, when you want your son or your daughter, usually the girls could read and write and whatever. But it be the boys. That's crazy to me. I don't give a fuck what gender, parent, male, female, whatever. That is crazy. If you couldn't read and write, how the fuck would it just be okay with that your kids can't? That's crazy to me. That is fucking. I just can't fathom that. That part fucks me up in there. I just can't. For real. That's the least you could do with your kids. I get it. You're probably in an effed up situation. You can't get them all what they want. Probably it's hard to put food on the table. But god damn it, man. You at least make sure they could do that shit. It still don't matter, because that's just them getting on the camera, Aries. I mean, still they can't fucking read and write. They might talk, speech could be good, but probably struggling in math, all that shit. Anybody go open up the camera? You got a lot of people, get on, because y'all know me. I'm good with words and talking and all that shit. I'm not. I'm honest with myself. I never was. But shit, I can read and write. And I'm very good with math. And at this age, I still go look at shit problems and things like that. That's why one thing I did with my boys when they were young, I made sure to have them thinking all the time. That's why I say, hey, I put them into us learn about cars, because I knew that was going to have them thinking. That was really important. Now, they're about to be grown. They be telling me shit. I don't even be knowing shit about these new. They be telling me, hey, the engine is this, is that, is this, is that. I be like, holy shit. Yeah, I was hearing them. I put up the video. The boy's 16 years old. That's my youngest breaking that shit down. What's up, Jay? I don't have a problem with that, Aries, but there's no excuses. I look, there's so much shit here on YouTube. I go to YouTube and look at certain things. When I was in school doing the engineering thing, I was on YouTube looking. They was really breaking it down when they was talking about electronics and diodes, and I mean, I really haven't really dived into that part of I'm more of a technician sort of type of person, but like really looking inside what's inside of a TV and things and how that shit worked. That was a whole different ball game. So I came on YouTube. They had that shit, plenty of videos. So it's no excuses. It's none. I saw plenty when they talking about algebra and English and like history and all that shit. It's on YouTube. It's no excuses, man. It's just none. But they look at parents don't give a fuck. We know these households. They don't give a fuck. buy them a phone, and let them do whatever they want to do. They don't give a fuck. You said cell phones. That's another good point there, Aries. You do math, computers have spell check. Yep. Yep. That's a fact. You said you just came from Joan J panel. I don't know who is that, because you're about to get on Austin ass. I don't who was that? I really don't give a fuck about that. You say realize we the last generation to write in cursive. Yes. I mean, are we really even writing? Like, I mean, people don't really do checks and stuff like that anymore. So you said it's symbolic of the downfall of education in our society. Yeah. But why she's talking about Austin? Hold on, guys, because let me see if what time is it? Okay, what is this? Oh, fuck. Who taking I don't fucking care about that, Jay. I don't at all. But let's continue. But yeah, Aries, I mean, everything is starting to become digital. So, I could see that part, I mean, usually we text each other. I mean, people ain't writing letters and doing that shit no more. I mean, you got Facebook. I mean, just everything is starting to become digital. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It is what it is. You can't stop technology, but I mean, damn, but still, you should be able to, like you say, you got spell check. You should be able to somewhat write, somewhat, and definitely know how to read. It's no excuses. You got Google, shit. You don't understand? Google, say the word, get the definition, get the spelling. No, it's no fucking excuses, man. And I try not to blame the schools. I really don't, because that's you as a parent. That's your job. You supposed to check on your kids to see where they're at. That's your job. I don't look for the teachers to teach my kids. I don't. I teach them. They just, towards whatever the teachers give them to learn, I make sure I go over it, that they're learning it. Like they say, these schools is like fucking daycare. Fucking parents, they don't give a fuck. That's why I'm finna hold that mirror up. Hold that mirror up. Because we're going to stop, like I say, with that victim shit. Oh, it's because we poor. My son, my daughter can't read or write, and they acting bad. Get the fuck up out of here. Shit. They're supposed to be the smartest kids in the fucking school. Facts. Aries, like how you raising your, see, I'm not trying to go in. This is when I really get angry. And as the baby, because the baby is not in school. The baby is usually with the mother, whoever, okay? So you're talking to the baby, and the baby is basically going off the parent. No, that's why usually if they speak Spanish, the baby usually starts speaking Spanish. Why? Because from the mother and the father. You're the first teacher. However, whatever language you talk or you speak. So, come on. Like, this is, man, I mean, because this is when I really get angry. Like, this is bullshit. This is no excuses to this. None. You can at least teach your kids the basic. That's the least you can do.
Of schools and balance the budget. So what you have to do is, first of all, you have to return the funding to the local schools. Only 60% of the money, the $30,000 per student that they spend per year, gets to the local schools. Secondly, you've got to open those campuses through the dinner hour on weekends, over the summer, during the holidays, so you can provide supplemental educational support activities as well as sports, enrichment, accelerated, and you can create work-study opportunities for these kids.
Let me read what y'all saying right quick.
And then the third thing you have to do is you really have to turn those schools over to the control of the community.
Jay say, what you say, your parents are always supposed to teach the children, but have other people do it for them. I mean, they're not even doing it for them. That's my point. They're not doing it for them. That's what's wrong. You say your mother will make you add up the cost of items before check out when you was 5 and 7 years old. If you was on point, she let you keep the change. That's what's up. Yeah, that's how I kind of used to do with my sons. I would like put quarters. That's how I didn't start off like the dollars. It was basically quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, and I would have them added up. I just put certain different sets of coins on the table, and I just be like, "What is this?" And then when they didn't understand it, that's the simple shit. Use your hands. A quarter, 25 cents. So let's count on each hand how you get to 25. And then we add a dime, that's 10. Okay, count on you. Just simple shit. And I had a whiteboard too, because I would give a marker, and you know how you put the lines, the one line representing one. Just simple, it was simple shit. And I didn't get angry and mad at them when they wasn't getting it at first. That's cool. But when I knew they was bullshitting and thinking the shit was a joke, that's what I got, because I cared. It's not a game. So then I kind of would do the same thing, Aries, and then I just whatever's all on the table, I just tell them to split it. And I used to put a lot of coins. I used to have like $5 quarters and dimes. I was serious about that shit. I'm making them count up to 100 on their hands. I was serious because I was like, anything off fail, just use your hand. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Use your hands. Nothing wrong with it. But no, we ain't doing the calculator shit. None of that. Use your hands. Now, I'll be like, hey, what's 100 times below? They quick. God damn. Shit. Simple, man. It's just like I said, it's just no excuses. It's none. But that's the thing. Like, people, Jay, you say you're bad at math, but like I say, you're on YouTube. You're on YouTube. I think y'all do this to yourselves. Cause see, you want to be over there at the Joanne, whoever, looking at some broad, basically talking about shit, about some passport shit. Other than you could just be on while you on here, looking at other shit, whatever you feel you're weak at, you can learn. Bro, I do this. People think because like, hey, you be on this person's channel. I be on here like doing that shit. No. I really go look at, see what's the new tech, what's new coming out. You know, I do that a lot. I don't be looking at all this goofy shit that goes on here. What's up, Joe? You say it might be considered minor, but once they get into classroom and flourish, you'll see the difference. Yeah, I mean, it was just the simple things. Like I think sometimes some parents go wrong with that because they be thinking like they don't know math. Well, you know, fuck it. I was bad at math, so what can I teach them? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And like I said, you got YouTube. It's no excuses. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's none. But people, that same parent can tell you what's on what happened on what episode with Love and Hip Hop and all that other goofy ass shit. Or they on here, they know what Cynthia G, who she calling Dusty. Like, get the fuck up out of here, man. I don't. That's why I be going in. I don't want to hear that shit. There's no excuses, man. It's none. You say if you love money, don't tell you hate math. Yeah. But as you see, you got a lot of people that is bad with money. But they don't give a fuck because this is how they grew up. They don't care. That's why they go buy dumb shit. They don't know how to save. They don't know how to turn around dealing with stocks and shit, bonds, none of that shit. It's crazy. My oldest stocks, and he did that on his own. Me and my youngest, we talk about property and things, and he's doing that on his own. We talk about towards saving. Now, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know I try to be transparent. Like, I got really angry with my youngest, like, because he coming asking me for money to, go into the ball. And I'm like, you get about 100, like, it's not like how it was when we was coming up, like allowance. And it's really not like a allowance type of thing I do with them. Because when they come here, I usually have them to do certain, it's not really chores. It's like, I would have them to probably fix this or, just having them do things. And, I would pay them like a service, because I'm trying to get them ready towards with the job market, so, and I'll be like, hey, at this time, go do this. Cause I'm trying to get them to be ready. Like, hey, when you go to work, you got to be there on time. And, they bad with that shit. So, but I would yell like, what you doing? I say at this time. But I used to give them like 100 each, or they uncle, my brother, whatever, and I know what they getting. So I'm like, wait, you just got like $200 like a week ago, and now you talk about you need money for. I'm like, what the fuck is he just looking at me? So I'm like, you just wasting money. Like, it's nothing to you, huh? And he really was like looking at me like, yeah, so like looking at me like, I got you. I was like, and I kind of lost it, and I'm just like, look, I usually don't try to do that because they older, but I'm like, look, this shit is not a joke. And it just, I mean, even today, because this happened Saturday, it's still bothering me because I'm like, you about to be 17 soon. Like, come on now. I felt like the fuck? Gotta put that money up. What is you doing? That's crazy. I'm like, if it's not bills, I'm not, what the fuck? Like, but this how they think. But as a parent, I gotta correct that. Hey, no. What the hell? What you buying? I'm not seeing anything. So I'm like, no. That shit had me angry. Like, but I was like, all right, okay, I gotta work with him. But this is what happens. Coming from these out, they just don't give a fuck. And this is why you got all this madness going on. But anyway, fuck that shit. What's up, Tampa? I know. Look, I don't even want to keep saying that word. So anyway, I'm just let's let this finish playing.
What role do you play, Mr. Johnson, should you be mayor, in improving those outcomes of learning?
Yeah, I'll be the biggest advocate for public education because I believe in public education. Look, I'm a big supporter of sustainable community schools, But my public
Nah, it's
safety
cool,
plan,
Jay. You ain't
along
gotta
with my
put all the
education
info out
plan,
there.
it talks about investments, right? It's why I'm calling for, and we will have, child care for all. Investing in children early sets them up for the future. But we also have to make sure that we're investing in their parents. The greatest predictor of a child's outcome in education is the socioeconomic status of the parent. So you have to have a dual track. But you can't do that when you're supported by someone like Ken Griffin, who wanted to close 125 schools and is manufacturing more guns on the streets of Chicago. My public safety plan, as well as my education plan, speaks clearly to investments, and that's what I'll do as the next mayor of the city of Chicago.
I really have to respond to that. Brandon was in part responsible for the shutting down of one of the poorest school systems in the country, with devastating consequences for 15 consecutive months, and 3 times threatening to strike to force the mayor to keep schools closed. And if you look at the crime statistics and you look at the violence and you look at the dislocation and decline in test scores, you can see the results.
Response? During COVID, he's talking about.
A 100-year pandemic was responsible for everything being shut down. But when you're supported by someone like Ken Griffin, who loves DeSantis, right-wing extremists who denied the fact that we actually had a pandemic. That's the problem that we have when you are part of the Republican Party. And that's why the city of Chicago cannot afford Republicans like Paul Vallas.
Up next.
Damn, call him a Republican. Damn, bruh. Why? But I don't. Why is they bringing up the pandemic though? It shit been going on. These stats. It's been like this for a while in Chicago. Towards everybody, I'm telling you, shit, motherfuckers get. You see people on here like, oh, you must come from CPS. Like, no, stupid motherfucker. That's where you're wrong. But I get it. But it's not even about that. So I actually had parents that kind of cared about my education. Not until I got in high school. I mean, at first, but they saw when they separated, that caused the problem. Now both of them taking care of their own household, working more hours. I was able to do whatever the fuck I want. And that wasn't good. That really wasn't good for me and my brother. But anyway, I really move on from that. I think it's going to be a commercial break. So fast forward it. Let's see.
We have a question from our
it's a
partner,
question.
the Union League.
All right, cool.
My name is Manuel Galvin, and I'm a member of the Union League Club of Chicago. Commuters want to have safe, clean, and on-time buses and trains. What specifically will you do to improve public transit?
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, look, right now our public transportation system is unreliable and it's unsafe. And again, this is why I'm committed to making sure that we're making critical investments, particularly for working people who overwhelmingly rely upon public transportation. And so we're going to increase the number of bus lane only lanes and expand that. We're going to make sure that there are traffic signals that give preference to bus lanes, but we're also going to make sure that
you can't do that, Brandon. How the fuck you going to do that? Yeah, barely was able to expand it to add bike lanes. The fuck is he talking about? What? So if I get this right, what he's saying really is, in a nutshell, is like the streets that got 2 lanes each way is going to become 1 lane. Because there's no other way you can do that. You can't expand that shit. Sorry. How? It don't even make sense, bruh. And then you really go add traffic on top of the fucking bad traffic you got here already. That's nuts, bruh. Come on, man.
we are expanding the workforce. Individuals who can be a part of our public transportation to help individuals with disabilities, to make sure that the workforce is fully supported.
You know what? I got to speak on this too. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because I be over there. I be looking at, see, I do my research now. I be over there. I be looking at the CTA. I go to CTA, I go to the city, I look at the jobs hiring website. I go to the VA, I check all that shit. And the CTA steady be hiring for the same fucking thing. Just about every week. Come on now. I know people that work for the CTA. Nah, the CTA is hurting. Just like the police force. Stop that bullshit.
A real livable wage, but we also have to make sure that we're very clear. The green line in particular, that's the line that my family utilizes. It is the most inequitable transportation line in the city of Chicago. And that's why I'm committed to making sure that we're making full investments.
I disagree. No, that's not true. It's really the blue line. That's the line that goes to the airports. Not the green line is like you go from the suburbs to downtown, but the blue line goes through downtown too. So that's not true.
Secure a reliable public transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Vallas.
The CTA is on the verge of financial bankruptcy. Their fare box is 18% of the operating budget. It's supposed to be 50%. And
that's a point. Thank you, Paul. Come on, man. Come on, Brandon. Be trying to, bro, see that progressive bullshit. Stop it, man.
The WBZ survey and my conversations with all the transit unions is public safety is the overriding issue. It's also the reason they can't keep employees and recruit employees. 500,000 fewer riders a day. You've got to prioritize public safety. You've got to make sure that there are police officers on the platform, that there are police officers riding the trains like New York. There are police officers at the station.
I definitely give them a major point for that. Because I'm telling y'all, man, I was experiencing that shit daily when I worked at downtown. That shit was crazy. And it was in the fucking morning. It was like I'm getting on the fucking train like 5 a.m. and these motherfuckers are on there fucking with people, including me.
Because if you don't restore public safety, you cannot sustain a transit system where 18% of your fare box, if your fare box is fun, or when you're only 18% of your operating budget is coming from the fare box. So public safety is the overriding issue now.
Thank you. Since the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, do you believe the city is responsible for protecting not only Chicago women, but all of those who come to the city for reproductive care, including abortion? Mr. Vallas.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I've always been a supporter of women's reproductive rights, always from the very beginning, from having gone to work for Dawn Clark-Netsch, who was one of the most activist and progressive of state senators. So I've always been supportive, and I will continue to ensure that Chicago is a city that will respect and support women's reproductive rights, but also visitors who come here too, just not Chicagoans, but anyone who visits the city.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, absolutely. And I always have, and I always will. Paul Vallas is on record of saying that he fundamentally opposes women's reproductive rights. He said it. He fundamentally opposes abortion. But it shouldn't be a surprise because he's hanging out with right-wing extremists who have attacked women. Look, I'm raising a daughter. I'm married to a wonderful, beautiful woman, raised by one, sisters. I work in a profession that is predominantly made up of women. Absolutely. As mayor of the city of Chicago, I'm going to protect.
That made me angry. That made me angry. And see what I've been saying. I told you guys now we can't talk about, oh well, maybe he's talking about the teachers and nah, bruh, no. Mostly City Hall is women. Mostly when you think about the courthouses, court buildings, work women, bruh. I can't even explain it. And that's like I said, that's a problem to me. Huge problem. That's why you got so many dudes, men out here homeless. For real. Let's just be real. Now, I can't say it if it's the Title VII, but usually if you look into the HR, usually it's who? It's women. This like, and I'm glad because I was gonna do a little spinoff because I was gonna do a video about this, and we gonna talk about this toward different cities on towards men, in particularly black men. Do these cities hate black men? Oh, I'm telling y'all, I'm going there. So we're gonna start looking at the stats, man. We finna hold up these mirrors. Like, okay, what's going on? And if you was to ask my opinion towards Chicago, hell fucking yes. Because as you see, look at the numbers towards the black boys reading and writing, low as fuck. Graduating black, low as fuck. Imprisonment, high as fuck. Violence, high as fuck. Getting killed, high as fuck. Murders, all that. We could keep going on. Employment, low as fuck. And people, well, that's them. No, because there's no programs really in place for black men and boys. Miss me with that shit, but we go definitely go there. And that's why I say tours with St. Louis. Go there, these other places, because don't get it twisted. It's like I talked to a dude that was in St. Louis. Actually, I know somebody because that's how St. Louis came about, because we was talking about my guy was talking about property, and he was telling me about, he was just showing me some shit. So I went to go look it up, and I was like, oh, really? So, but I got to talking because there's like Ari said, like technology, they be having lives, like like the clubhouses and shit, but I don't fuck with that goofy shit. But there be lives you could go on, and certain people be in certain states and whatever, and they just have whatever discussion was going on. And I went to one with a person was in St. Louis, and he just kept telling me like, dude, don't come here, man. Don't come here. Like, man, it's really bad. Like up there with you guys, but he like, nah, but. And I was like, why you say that? Like, because I was like, I already looked. I looked at a video, which I was like, yeah, I hear you segregated there, but I'm like, but that's funny. The white people area is nice, but your area is fucked up, the north side or whatever. And he was like, well, he was just like, well, yeah, that victim, ain't no jobs here, and ain't this and that. Okay, but whose fault is that? I'm like, what you guys doing? And he kind of just, like, well, the other dudes, they don't give a fuck. But he was like, and I just like, okay. I didn't dive into like to see who's the mayor, like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a video. It just stopped. That light bulb popped in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna do a video because I'm gonna see what's going on in St. Louis. Let's really dive deep into this shit. Okay, let's see if they got any programs. What's going on in St. Louis? What's going on in these places? And we know here on you. We know. But we're gonna dive into it, like really get into this shit. That's what I'm saying. It's not political. It really is. We gotta be holding. I don't want to say each other, because it gotta be a separation to motherfuckers get their minds right. But we gotta start holding motherfuckers accountable. And like I said, hey, it's a reason why there's no programs here for black men, black boys here. And this is why I'm talking. That's why I'm doing this shit now, like with these two. It's a reason. But you have a vote. You have a say. Like, y'all allow these other motherfuckers, when a white police officer kill, y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't for to say their names. Then you motherfuckers want to tear up shit. You want to fuck your own shit up. That's when you get angry. But when you're struggling and you're looking around, where you stay, and this is a fucking wasteland. You don't have nothing to say. You're quiet. And then you vote motherfuckers in that don't even fucking help you. You want to play the victim. No more of that shit.
A woman's right to choose. Paul Vallas, on the other hand, is working with right-wing extremists where he says that he fundamentally opposes a woman's right to choose.
Quick
Yeah,
rebuttal.
let me respond to that by basically saying that that's nonsense. I've never said that. Someone once asked me the religious question because I'm Greek Orthodox, and I really said, in essence, that I have the same position that that Nancy Pelosi has or Biden has. My fundamental religious beliefs aside, I will always be 100% supportive of a woman's reproductive rights.
Thank you. The
Wow.
next question comes from the Latino Policy Forum.
Oh, oh Lord. And I kind of was, I don't know, I wasn't surprised, but I was because I was thinking the female from earlier, that was the Latino question, you know. But when I said, oh, watch this motherfucker make my point. But the abortion thing, I know y'all probably go like, what? But I'm for women having their rights, you know, make the choice towards what they, what they do with their body. Cause like I feel like it should be the same about towards what the men do with their money. So you notice they didn't talk about that shit. And that's why I say it's an L for both of these dudes. They making some points I agree with, but the real shit that need to be addressed, nope. Okay, what about child support? Okay, they get abortions. Okay, fine and dandy. So if they do decide to have a kid, okay, it shouldn't be no child support then, right? If you for that, I'm for it too. Yeah, you should make your own decision if you want to have a kid or not. But you should abolish. Then there should be no child support here then. And I'm serious about that. A state that allow abortions shouldn't have child support. If you want to, okay, towards the child support thing, then okay, well, they shouldn't be allowed to be able to have abortions. You got to take that right away from them. Because then the guys, then ain't no excuses. And no, you can't leave and go to another state. Nope, none of that. You from here and you get pregnant here, you live here, nah. And hey, it's no abortion. Hey, that's on both of y'all. Yes, I have to say, dude, there ain't no abortions, bruh. So you busting in them, you just as fault as she is. What's up, coach? What's going on, bro? It's no excuses, man. None. But if they had a right to be able to abort, the guy have a right to abort child support. Fuck about it. Once again, they don't bring that shit up. But let me hear this question. Check this shit out.
I am Jose Marco Paredes from the Latino Policy Forum. In 2018, Latinos contributed more than $97 billion to Chicago's economy, helping drive the city's economic growth. How will you ensure that they have equitable opportunities to share in that growth?
Mr. Vallas?
Well, first,
who he didn't mention? Who he didn't say? If y'all was here yesterday, right? When that Negro went up there and talking about towards black and brown people, why it's so segregated, the generation wealth. Did he mention us? Notice all Latino and the economic growth, how much money we're spending. Now it's just them. I say, bam. There you go. They don't include us. Got Latinos. And then at the same time, like, so fucking what? The fuck? See, they spend money. What you gonna do for us? It never fails. What are you gonna do for us? And it's only them. They ain't say white or they ain't say black. But it always be our dumbasses that are talking about, well, you know, the black and brown people. Fuck them. Yeah, I said it. And that's why I'm all for that. Hey, they gonna have their Latino pride and all that shit. When the fuck are we gonna start doing it? It's just it's the fuck, man. Like, we man. Oh man. I'm gonna let this shit. Yeah, I'm working. You know, I'm giving myself a headache right now. Well, 6. I guess she's not coming. So, all right, let's finish this.
First of all, by using the budget as a community investment tool. So let me give an example. When I was responsible for the Chicago Public Schools with Gary Chico, over 50% of all of our contracts through our capital program, 40% of professional development contracts went to minority and women-owned businesses. And we actually exceeded that number. 55% were actually awarded. We also did something else. We also required that over 50% of those hired be minority, and we hit 58%. So at the end of the day,
Wow.
that was probably the most successful, the most progressive, and the most dynamic investment and use of public funds to provide equity in terms of allocation of contracts and local hiring as ever. And let me also point out that the vast majority of my administrators promoted to principals, assistant principals, and senior administrators come from the Black.
And that's another thing I was thinking about. Like when they're talking about that towards the spending. And I know this is going to sound fucked up, but I don't really give a fuck. Like I was thinking, like, okay, but who's doing all that spending? Were they legal immigrants, Latinos, or illegal? Because we know that goes on a lot here. We know this. Don't we, Lori? Y'all allow that shit. The legal license and get a job, all that programs for them. Once again, going back to that. But what are the programs for the black men and the black boys? See, I could fucking just lose it right now. But I'm not. Because that's what I'm saying. Let's really, we're gonna break this shit down. Because they do have plenty of fucking programs here for illegal, not legal, illegal immigrants here. Let's not play that game. But you have black citizens here. You don't do shit for
Latino community.
Mr. Johnson.
Well, you know, the Latinx community has played an incredible role in contributing to our economy. And first of all, you have to have a leader who's willing to listen. And, you know, we know that our street vendors right now and the Latinx community, they're struggling. And I'm going to make sure that we're providing micro grants to make sure that businesses can continue to thrive and grow. But we also have to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to protect our city, to make sure that it's a sanctuary city, to protect those who are seeking asylum here, those who want refuge here, that not only will we be a welcoming city, but we will be a city that honors
this is crazy.
The contribution of the Latinx community, particularly by supporting small businesses and making sure that we're listening to them.
Thank you.
Did he say that to us with maybe I missed it yesterday. I didn't recall him saying that to us with black people. I think I was the one talking about that to us where he said he comes from the Austin area where it's still a majority of black businesses. Now, I can't really speak for the South Side because I'm not from the South Side. But if I recall, he didn't say none of that. What's up, Cannon? He didn't say that shit. Maybe I'm wrong. But he clearly, when it's the Latinos, oh yeah, we gonna have grants, you know, it's gonna be a safe haven for them. And you motherfuckers don't give me, I guarantee you, where's the videos at on YouTube? People that stand in Chicago not mad at what this motherfucker just said. Show me. Give somebody put one in the link. Put a link in the comments. In the box. But you know, I'm gonna talk about this more in detail. They already got shit in place for them. And I really believe him when he say this. Because they know, okay, what they want, that vote. They want that support. And you got the fucking Negroes that hear this and, oh, okay, you know, well, yeah, you know, black and brown people. Yeah, they are allies. Oh, shit. Do I want a corned beef sandwich? I guess so. I ain't had one in a while. Yeah, I think about time she gets over here, I'll be off. But we got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. That's why we don't never get anything. And then be complaining, doing the victim shit. Well, look at us. You know, the white people are rich and we're poor and we live in squalor. It's your fucking fault. And you know, the Latinos taking over our shit. Yep. Because it's simple. You stupid. Anyway.
So, if either of you have walked the Mag Mile lately, you have seen the empty storefronts. The vacancy rate has tripled in the.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna go. Because I haven't been downtown like shit. It's been what, a couple of months. I'm gonna go film it. Because I heard a couple of people talk about this. I didn't even know. They say it looked bad. You know, shit. Michigan, yeah, it's beautiful, man. This is really, really, really fucking bad. This is the main reason why I think they got Lori ass up out of here. That's crazy.
Past decade. What is your plan to revitalize this area of tourism and shopping? Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, first of all, public safety is a serious problem. And just like families, businesses, and small and large are struggling because we don't have the safest city. But here's the thing. We have an incredible opportunity to attract new businesses to the city of Chicago, whether it's biotech, logistics, all of these companies that want to be in the city of Chicago, but they want to make sure that you have someone who has a real public safety plan that's going to ensure that residents are protected, as well as those who wish to contribute by building up business. And so I've spoken with businesses over the last several months, and I put forth a plan that's not only going to attract businesses, but we're going to make sure that there's actually a clientele to support those businesses.
Mr. Vallas.
This is what the businesses, not only on the Mag Mile, have told me, but businesses on the west side and the south side. Number one, public safety. They don't feel their businesses are safe. They're having trouble getting customers because they don't feel that there's public safety, and they're having difficulty hiring workers. The second thing is just
that's with us. That's with us. But I want to chime in just quickly because when oh, well, she on her way. Okay. What I was gonna say? Oh, on the south side, like Inglewood, where it was mostly blacks, is now starting to become a lot of Hispanics there. I mean, they're businesses are thriving. The thing with what I seen, and I've been over there lately. I've been over there recently. I think I'm gonna be going back on the 27th. I'm not for sure because we supposed to be having this program out there, but I don't know if they need me. So I'm gonna have to see what's going on. But I've been out there a couple of times, and if you look, you drive like, let's say, everybody say 63rd. Okay, I mean that's heading to, that's Inglewood. If you're west, if you're west heading east, most of the black businesses that was there, it's vacant. They're gone. Even the churches. That's if you drive down there, that you will see. That's what you see mostly of. You'll see churches on each on every area of the block and fucking liquor stores. Now the liquor stores are open. That's you know how this go, and the currency has changed. But the fucking even the churches are they're gone for the most part. The buildings are there, but it's empty. It's vacant. And the Hispanics are just moving it. They taking over, getting that property, opening up their businesses. Simple. You can't. I mean, to me personally, it's really I don't. If you don't have a community, it's not going to be any businesses. It's just that simple. If you don't have fucking actual family, not single mothers, ain't shit going to happen. Nothing. You can say all this shit you want. It's not going to happen. Let this play. That's all I want to say.
The regulatory agencies are simply strangling businesses because they're dictating, they're micromanaging, and between aldermanic privilege or the fact that you have to go through multiple agencies, it's impossible. You could have 15 cranes in the sky right now if the regulatory agencies simply remove the obstacle. And then the third thing that they've talked about is some sort of predictability when it comes to taxes. There needs to be some sort of predictability. I would also really defer to them and to ask them to tell me what their strategy should be and support those strategies.
Thank you. Let's make this a quick one. The Chicago Bears, Mayor Lightfoot wants to keep them by renovating Soldier Field. Do you agree? And if so, how do you pay for it? Mr. Vallas.
I don't support billion-dollar subsidies for sports teams, and I certainly don't support putting billions of dollars into Soldier Field.
Mr. Johnson.
Of course, I want the Bears to stay in the city of Chicago. I grew up with the Super Bowl shuffle. We need another one in Chicago. And so I'm prepared and willing to sit down and work with the ownership, and let's see what we can figure out. I'm asking the ownership of the Chicago Bears just to hold tight, a better, stronger, safer Chicago as possible, and give the new administration that I'm going to bring an opportunity to make the case. But of course, not subsidizing, but finding creative ways in which we can make sure that the Super Bowl shuffle lives on and my son gets to see a Super Bowl in Chicago.
All right. The city has seen many broken promises when it comes to transparency. How will you make city government more open? Whether it is the public records or perhaps major contracts like NASCAR. Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I've already started. I'm the only one on this stage who has released a budget plan because I believe in telling people the truth. And the truth of the matter is, look, I know Paul is uncomfortable with this, but after Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States of America, he switched parties and became a Republican. That's just the truth of the matter. And putting forth a budget plan that speaks to the needs of working people versus kowtowing to the extreme right, who really won't release their public safety plan their budget plan because they know no one wants it. By putting forth the budget plan now, the city of Chicago gets to negotiate with me before I'm even sworn in. That's how we engender trust, by telling people the truth. And as mayor of the city of Chicago, I will always keep it 100.
Mr. Vallas.
What was your question again? Because I got sidetracked.
The question went on transparency. How will you make city government more open and about public records and even contracts like NASCAR?
Well, first of all, by requiring that all documents be released and open to the public, number one, and just not release them and then bring them back in and then force people. Well, in other words, once they're made public, they need to remain public. Second, by restoring the type of staff support and resources to the city council so they can make independent independent judgments. Third, by passing the type of ordinances that require a city council deliberation like they do with the Congressional Budget Office, because right now there's no process for evaluating the budgets. There's no process for evaluating contracts. For example, the ComEd contract was just thrown on their desk, basically saying, pass it now. And fourth, by truly having an independent inspector general that cannot be muzzled by the law department, an inspector general that can provide full transparency.
Thank you. All right. What happens when the federal COVID money runs out? And it's going to run out on one of your watches.
Yep. $2
billion. What happens to all of those programs, Mr. Johnson?
Well, look, this is why I released my budget plan. I'm going to eliminate the structural. Let me just slow down for a second, because I want to make sure this is perfectly clear. I'm not going to negotiate my values, but I certainly am willing to negotiate the details of my budget plan. We're going to eliminate the structural deficit in my first term, make up to $1 billion of investments, and we're going to do it without raising property taxes. This is how we get up out of the awful straits that we are experiencing right now because of the failures of the 90s. Look, it's going to be a difficult challenge moving forward, but being transparent now by releasing a budget plan so that we can begin to negotiate it, that's how we get up out of it. Unlike Paul Vallas, who has 3 sentences on his website about his budget plan.
Mr. Vallas.
Yeah, let me respond by basically saying, by looking at the budget holistically, the mayor controls $28 billion in spending, not counting capital spending, and not counting over $1 billion in tax increment financing diversions. So you've got to look at the budget holistically, just not the $16 billion budget that the mayor controls. I have always done it. I've always balanced budgets. I left the city with 13 bond rating upgrades. They don't give you bond rating upgrades if you're raising taxes and you're not funding pensions. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take a holistic approach and long-term planning approach to the budgets, and I'm going to look at all aspects of the budgets to ensure that we can meet critical needs while holding the line on property taxes.
All right. Chicago has historically been a racially segregated city. As you each look now to build this coalition to win, how will race play a role in getting elected, Mr. Vallas?
Well, look, Brandon obviously wants to make race the issue. I'm running for mayor of all of Chicago. I'm running for.
I really didn't like this question, but I'm gonna let it ride.
People say Chicago's the city that works. Well, Chicago's never been the city that works for everyone. So I think my policies on public safety, because public safety is a human right. I think my policies on magnetizing neighborhood schools by putting the type of programs in that can be the type of programs that, regardless of your income or regardless of your zip code, are programs that you want your children to participate in. By taking this $28 billion monstrosity of a budget and allocating the money that really invests in underserved neighborhoods on the south side and west side, which I've clearly articulated on my website and in my speech before the City Club. That's the way you bring people together. I'm campaigning everywhere, and I'm gonna unite the city around the issue.
Mr. Johnson, how will race play a role in getting?
I honestly, what I've been seeing, because I've been looking at the numbers, I disagree there, Paul. You got a lot of conservative white people voting for you. So unfortunately, it is about color. I mean, let's be real about that shit. This is why that guy is standing there next to you. So knowing that a lot of, the liberals, let's be real, a lot of the rainbows voted for the black guy. White, voted for him. So not too many people, black people voted for Paul. So it is a color thing. So we gotta be honest about this. And it's definitely going to now that Lori is not there, and most of just you two now, he's going to get even more of a majority vote from black people. Let's just be real. Let's keep it real. Seriously. So and look, I'm definitely going to chime in on that. So we'll see, but it always been like this here in Chicago. So hey, shit, what can you do about it? But he's saying making us come together. He'll make that. That's not gonna happen. That's I don't know why people say that shit. And like I say, if they don't look, my thing is, where I'm at is mixed, and it's just simple. They don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. You respect me. I respect you. You know, need to come together. Or, damn. Holy shit. This motherfucker got here fast. Oh, my Lord. All right, y'all. Damn. I don't want to, because it's almost at the end. Damn. The fuck? My ass just didn't want to stop. God damn. The fuck? Oh well. Probably have to drive once I'm done with this. That's crazy. Let me see. Let me go let her in. Let me go. There's not much left. It's only a couple more minutes. Come on now. Fuck. Taking no damn day to text back. All right, I'm let's let this play. Finish this off. And then maybe she could chime in how she feel about this. So, but yeah. We go talk more about that. We'll talk more. But I know people be like, man, why you for segregation? Yeah. I really am. Hey, shit. You know, I'm for them having race pride. I mean, it's something we need to start doing ourselves. So let me go see this motherfucker. What type of company she got? Because everybody else I text right back. Nope. Somehow she's missing my Texas. Yeah, whatever. All right, let me finish playing this. I'll be back, guys. Be right back.
Look, I'm proud to have a multicultural, multi-generational campaign. Black, brown, white, Asian, young, old. Look, we've built a coalition across this city, from Delia Ramirez, Congresswoman, to Congressman Danny Davis and Congressman Jonathan Jackson. Independent political organizations all over the city have surrounded my candidacy. But Paul Vallas has made it about race. He has. But young people in the city of Chicago deserve Black history. He's the one that said that should not happen. We're building a coalition, but we have to be honest about the stratification that has existed for too long in the city. That's why I'm going to disrupt this tale of two cities and bring in a better, stronger, safer Chicago. One story, one Chicago.
Quick rebuttal.
Yeah, just nonsense again. I actually integrated Black history in all the curriculum, and it moved beyond just Black History Month in February. I also incorporated African studies into the world history curriculum. And I did a third thing. We worked with local school councils who wanted to provide for a more Afrocentric curriculum. So my record is for everyone to see.
All right. So you're the new mayor. Day one, what happens? Can you give us quickly your thoughts, maybe one or two? What are your top priorities of what you would do day one? Mr. Vallas.
Well, my top priority is public safety. And my top priority is to bring all the individuals who are involved and have impact on public safety, just not the police department, but the U.S. Attorney's Office, the state.
So what do you do, though? Give us something you would do.
Well, what I would immediately do is announce my new leadership team. I would immediately announce a new work schedule that would incentivize the police officers to remain. I would immediately direct the officers, because only 53% of the officers in the police department right now are on the local beats. Okay, so I would immediately push the resources down to the local beat level, and I would immediately invite the hundreds of officers who have left, who have indicated a willingness to return, not only those who have retired, but those who have transferred to other police departments. I would bring them in so we can provide the resources needed, whether it's the local beats or the CTA.
Mr. Johnson, day one, what would you do?
Well, we're going to double the amount of young people that we hire in the city of Chicago. We're going to expand just our summer youth hiring program. We're going to make it year round. there is a direct correlation between youth employment and violence reduction. We're going to do that right away. As a public school teacher, teaching in Cabrini Green, USA,
I'm gonna let this finish. Playing.
teaching middle school students, I've looked into the eyes of young people when they're feeling a little less hope. As mayor of the city of Chicago, I'm going to look people in the eye and I'm going to demonstrate how much we love them. Look, I grew up with a pastor. Where your heart is, your treasure will be also. I'm going to make sure that we are investing in the lives of young people.
You can hear it too.
Because we actually can build a better, stronger, safer Chicago by making sure we're providing opportunities for our young people.
And as far as though action, as I asked him, what are the, besides hiring young people, what concrete, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that is concrete. We got to do that. Now, of course, I'm going to sit down with Paul and we can share stories about how traumatic running for mayor of the city of Chicago is. But truthfully, we can stand up a youth hiring program right away. The sister agencies working with our corporations. I've spoken to business leaders. They've been trying to invest in young people. This outgoing administration has created roadblocks, not with my administration.
Is there anything the two of you are more alike than you are different when everyone says you're so different? What do you think, Mr. Johnson?
Well, clearly, I'm feeling a little way about the fact that we have a similar style in terms of our dress code. But look, Paul is a very hard worker. He's Brazilian. He don't miss nothing, right? And I believe I was raised with similar values where you show up and go to work every single day. Now, we obviously don't agree once we get to work, but Paul shows up, and I actually appreciate that about him.
Mr. Vallas.
Look, we live in an arena of ideas, and I appreciate the interaction, and it makes you sharper. And I think we've learned things from each other. For example, the Universal Work Study Program for high school kids, which I've done op-eds on for the last 4 years. The idea that all of our high schools can offer work study with city agencies, city departments, city contractors, et cetera. We could literally put tens of thousands of young people to work in paid work study jobs. You want to keep young people off the street and introduce them to the best role models in the community, working men and women. That's the way you do it.
All right, Mr. Vallas and Mr. Johnson, thank you both very much. Thank you for joining us. It was a great discussion, a chance to hear from both of them this very first mayoral forum. Of course, Election Day is April 4th, and we thank you so much for being a part of our forum.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why do I care so much?
Discussion. I don't know if
I'm gay.
they're going to have another debate. I doubt it, but
Where can I go to,
come on,
talk, I
commercial.
guess,
You know what?
specifically?
Stop it. Stop it. Let me get off of here. All right. I don't need this anymore, so I'm cut this off. Oh, what's that? It's a commercial playing, but I don't know where it's playing at. What the hell? Hold on. Oh, really? Come on now. Just play it. So it's just gonna just start playing on its own. Ain't that something? Anyway. Let me come out of this. Oh, it took down my whatchamacallit. Goddamn YouTube. Sorry about this, guys. Hold on. All right. See, I hear myself. So, what you think about the candidates? If you was, well, I don't think you ever stayed in the city, have you? But if you was to choose, who would you vote for?
I'm looking at Brandon Johnson because of the fact that he is trying to do more for education,
Mm-hmm.
and he's thinking more about our youth, and the fact that he's thinking about law enforcement as well. So I just feel like candidates shouldn't be one-sided. They need to be multi-versatile in whatever they do.
Hold on, let me put this in the middle between us. I'm gonna see if I should be able to work. I don't know if they can hear you. Put this right here. So, I don't know. I honestly one of them. Um, I'm more concerned towards with us because when you look at what's all going on in Chicago, when they say the violence, uh, the kids, which is very important. That's to me very highly important. You know, you look at the scores because which state actually they discuss. Uh, something got to be done. You know, I'm fucking tired of you know Lori, for example, coming in. Oh yeah, do this and then do shit. You know, and now victim. You know, oh, well, we don't have this or we don't have that. I'm like, y'all still voting for the same. You know, it's just it's bullshit. So now I say, you know what? I'm gonna do a podcast and I'm gonna start this really, putting it out there. Like, okay, are we really paying attention to what is being offered? If you want to vote for an individual, okay, you gotta like I'm getting fucking tired of it. You know, like I said, we don't stay there. You know, shit. Yeah, yeah, and then really like with us black people, right? Fucking tired of this shit. You know, kids are, especially the boys, getting killing and getting murdered left and right. Like, no, it's like enough is enough. So I'm like this. I'm putting the mirror up in motherfuckers' faces. We ain't finna keep doing this victim shit. Yeah, I know what's the problem. What the hell are you going to do to fix it? This is a start. Okay, who are you going to vote for and why? You know, I'm tired of that. And that's what I'm basically. That's the problem. I'm kind of on with this shit. You know. So you said Brandon.
When a lot of political candidates make a lot of
Yeah.
they might intend to actually do it
Uh-huh.
when they get in office. They find out what they cannot actually do.
That's true. I agree with that. That's a good point. Make sure I can hear myself. Oh, I got the mic turned all the way up. Because I feel like that with the president. You're right. You know, but I said this also. I said this also. I don't know why I can't hear myself all of a sudden now. Up in here. When the mayor got to hold other people accountable. I said that. Like, if City Hall giving you a hard time, the council can't just sweep that shit under the rug. You gotta, come out. Hey, look, they're giving me. I'm trying to get this passed. I'm trying to get that passed, and let the people hold them accountable. You know, I'm because people were saying that about with Lori. Oh, she can't get this because of that. Man, I'm not trying to hear that shit. But she didn't say when it came to the other people, she got that done. Hey, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to, the excuses, when it comes to the politicians, you know, shit that they be saying after the fact. You know, I'm all for holding whoever's stopping you accountable because it's if we want this shit to stop, okay, and you're trying to implement things, let's just say things that could help stop it. Why would somebody try to, come on now? So now now we see what's the problem is. We got to get these, and knowing me, I find out I'm putting their ass on blast.
Yeah, accountability is very important.
That's what I'm basically talking about. Thank you. That's the main thing. And my damn headphones don't want to. That's the main thing, and that's the thing we lack. Not saying us particularly, but you see what I'm talking about. It's always that victim narrative, and I'm like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. Fuck that. For real. You know, can I? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Say something.
Hello.
I don't think I hear you. I hear me, but I don't hear you. Say hello again, like hello.
Hello.
Let me say testing. 1, 2. Test. Oh, okay. I probably I'll talk like this because I got to kind of face you, but yeah, you know, it's usually no accountability. And then I just found out they was talking about what's going on downtown Michigan. They say a lot of the stores are leaving.
Yeah.
I ain't know that.
Yes.
I said, God dang. Yeah, I was like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go take a visit. I'm gonna go record that. I said, wow. But it makes sense because downtown is like violent. And stories like that.
They're being robbed, and
Yeah.
you know, so much is happening down there that people have gotten fed up. They're tired. There's more that could be done, but they're not doing it.
Exactly. And then I'm hearing that because I don't know if you heard about that robbery, that bank robbery. That was during daylight.
Yes, I heard.
And that, you see the video?
No, I didn't. I missed the video.
That dude, the shooting, it could be any. It could have been people up in there. I mean, he was just shooting, the guard. But I mean, he's like he's shooting all through the bank.
And then went outside and did an old Western shootout.
That's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot inside. Once he came out and the guard came out, he's just letting it go. I'm just sitting there like, I never seen no shit like that downtown. They like rush hour kind of time,
like shootout at the OK Corral.
I said, you got to be kidding me.
It's horrible.
And then
it's deplorable.
Yeah, and then the guy who he recorded from a different angle, it was like, man, I could imagine. You know, usually people are downtown, usually good jobs, down there like here, like
I used to work there.
Yeah, I did. I had a couple of construction jobs I did down there. So I did the old post office. And ooh, Lord, that was a job for you. Anyway, that's a different discussion. But I would talk about, actually, I spoke about this early on this. They was talking about the CTA. And I was saying I used to get harassed. Like me, at 5 in the morning on the blue line going to work. I mean, it was 5 in the morning and they on there fucking with us. We tired. Like, and they tapping on people. I usually have my headphones on. One dude tapped on me. Like, I was looking out the window and he, like, I like, what the I understand something wasn't there with him, but like, dude, are you not? It was like, are you crazy? But I'm looking at him like, you tell he had mental issues, and I had to calm down. But you could tell after that how I reacted towards him. He ain't touched nobody after that. But I was, and I ain't had no money because I usually would give them money if I have it on me, but I also started to notice it was the same individuals like coming, like, what the like, dude, when you could walk, you could work on that like every day now. Like, it's like, I'm like, oh, and then I talk about this. What I think got me started to doing what I'm doing now was when I seen that boy, the black boy, the homeless boy. He could have been older than probably 7. But I don't know if he was with a black, if that was his father or not. But they was on the train. That fucked me up. That made me super angry. I was like, you know what? This is some bullshit. Like, you should never see no kid homeless. I don't care what anybody say, never. I was like, nah, something needs to be done. That's when I kind of just started talking about a lot of shit that goes on here. And now I'm like, okay, now we got to really dig into the people that's at the top, what's going on, which but I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, it's other people that got their hand in the pot, but nobody ain't talking about them. They just, fuck that. Fuck that. We ain't doing that shit no more. So yeah, I don't know, damn. I still can't hear myself. I'm gonna get another mic because I don't even think they can hear us. They probably can hear you, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. It is what it is. So you going with Brandon? Okay. I don't know. I'm not sold on either one of them. I'm really not. But they both made some good points though. I can at least say that. They both, I kind of leaning towards Paul somewhat because I like what he's talking about towards with the CTA. That's man, that shit is bad. And towards with the trades, or with the empty school buildings, because that bothers me a lot too. When I'm out there, there's a lot of them are still empty, and that just don't make no fucking sense to me. I'm trying to reopen them to make it some type of after school program, or trades and shit, But you're right, they say that, but fuck that. You still gotta hold their feet to the fire. I downloaded that video, and we gonna see what else coming. What else,
You won't know until whoever gets in office gets there.
Mhm.
And that's when you have to look for whatever changes.
Oh, well, like I say, this is just the beginning. But now I got everything on, recorded in a sense of what they said. But, we know how this goes. So, they can say a whole bunch of shit. But nah, as black people, because shit, it's not really going to be towards the candidates. That's why I'm like, this really not political. This more like, look, I consider it a separation. I say there's black people and the Negroes. So I'm really at the Negroes who don't give a fuck. I'm holding that mirror to them because as black people, we know,
Right.
Because we care. We care about each other. Let's be real. But these Negroes who don't fucking give a fuck about shit, but they want to play the victim. Why is this happening? This is why. So, they ain't closed down the trade schools, Jay. What happened was they took the trades out of school. They did this a long shit. They did it out here. That's crazy. But we've been talking about it. We've been on their asses now. Now they're complaining about out here. Like, get the fuck up. But that's cool. We care. So we ain't playing out here. Like, paying some expensive property tax. Fuck all that. Like, come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. So, but public schools, that's crazy. They took everything out of public. I don't even think they got bands.
Yeah, they do.
They do? Okay. Shit. I'm shocked. Well, sports.
They're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
They still have it for now.
But they know sports bring them revenue.
Right.
Because, they show that some of these high schools that NBA stars, came from. They still so much show them the tournaments and shit. So they know that give bring money. But other than that, if they didn't bring money, they take you right. They'll stop sports. Like, fuck up no sports, fuck band, just nothing, just a prison now. Fuck it. So my guest, I have a guest here with me. I said that earlier. They don't be listening to me. Some people be busy. They probably leave and come back, and now they hear your voice. Hey, who the hell? Who is she? Where'd she come from? I'm trying to have you to stop for me. I'm like, oh, now listen to this shit. My head be hurting. I didn't stop because I was trying to hurry up and get back here, so I didn't stop. But after listening to this, I was like, man, my head was banging. I'm like, oh, I need a bell. And I was like, you here already? I'm like, shit, I'll probably go afterwards. But Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But anything else you want to say towards this? I can just end this shit. All right. So, I mean, if you wanna, yeah, you don't see me, Jay. What you talking about? It's a reason why you don't see her. It's a reason. Okay. I'm doing this for a reason. But I'll let you know next time ahead of time. And I'm gonna try to get I gotta get this headphone shit situated first. When I do another podcast about this, I'll let you know ahead of time. We'll talk, break it down, whatever. And I definitely need to get another mic. Cause I used to do the rap shit, the production shit, and I still got all that. I wouldn't. I still got all that equipment. I need to sell that shit because that shit just catching dust. I could, I'm gonna use that money. I'm just gonna buy another mic, and be better to have two mics because I still got the stand, but I got the other stuff. And I need to sell that shit, the rest of that stuff. And yeah, we'll talk about that. Definitely like to have your perspective on this. I don't know, maybe I get somebody else come chime in. You know who I would like to talk? Who the common talk is my brother, because he out there, he's house shopping, and he's saying he's having a fucking hell of a time trying to find a house. And he had told me, because him and his wife is they paying rent, and the landlord raised the rent up to now it's $2,000. Yes, that's the point. I said, hey, his voice, like I felt so bad for him because he was, I couldn't imagine. Like she just up and they I was like, they could do that. But what's really making him angry, he's just having the hardest time trying to find a house. And I'm just like, yeah, because these banks and shit buying the houses, they buying that shit up. I mean, I'm like, they're not regulating these damn banks. They let them do whatever the hell they want to do. And he was like, yeah, he getting tired of it. And I was like, you gotta wherever you're looking, I'm like, you got to kind of look who's in charge there. And he kind of didn't understand it. So I broke it down to him because I was like, that plays a part. Like they just letting them fucking banks do it. You probably got to go down there and complain. What's going on? Because they don't. Now most of the houses he say out, they renting them. It's rent. He's like, he don't want to do that shit. I was like, and I know he's not coming back to the city. He ain't coming back. He like us. I want to get property in the city, but that shit is starting to become crazy. But I don't know what to tell him because I know him. He the type he'll pack up and leave because he did it once. And I hate for that shit. Because I get to see my niece and my nephew more often. And, and I'm just like, damn, I was like, you gotta start holding others accountable. So anyway, I'm just talking now. I'm not finna keep on that shit, but I'm gonna holler at him, see if I get him here so we could talk. Hopefully by then I definitely have another mic. Let him talk about his situation because I think people need to hear that shit. But anyway, all right, folks, I'm gonna get on out of here. Got this young lady here with me on the why you got that look? Look, you don't like me calling you a young lady. You younger than me, so you stop trying to be old like me. You can't. Every time I go up in age, So stop trying. I be peeping that with you. You be no. So you're a young lady. I be old. Okay, you stay young. All right, cool. All right, as long as we got that established. All right, but yeah, maybe me and her talk about some other things offline, so it's none of y'all business. But but yeah, yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all know what to do. Leave a comment, whatever. Um, y'all also support. I mean, the old Cash App is still up. I haven't switched it yet, but it should be in the description after this once it's over. So they usually put it in there. And yeah, to the next time. What I'm gonna talk about next time? Maybe we'll dive into the St. Louis situation. We'll talk about that. So, but y'all know how it is with me. I can't, I'm not giving y'all no day on this one. So y'all just gonna have to wait and see. Unless something else come down, probably whatever. I'll talk about that. But all right, y'all. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Get on out of here. Peace out. All righty.